Welcome back to the 2024 Candidate Forum. It's being simulcast on KRMS Radio and KRMS TV 32, streaming on krmsradio.com, krmstv32.com, and at KRMS Facebook. We have with us our candidates for Camden County Commission, District 2. We have Steve Dugan, James Rarica, Daniel Dugan, and Bill Walker. We're going to give a 2-minute opening statement. We'll start with James.
Good evening. My name is James Rarica. My wife and I have lived here for over a decade. Dr. Katie Rarica. We have 4 children from 8 to 3 years old right now. We operate our veterinary and Argosy Council, Inc., a very large business. We employ about 120 people around the state. I have experience in growing that business over the last 7 years, and I believe I can bring those experiences to benefit the citizens of the county. I have also spent the last decade helping out several departments at the county, and am very familiar with several of the departments underneath the commission.
Daniel Dugan.
My name is Daniel Dugan, double D. I served as your Missouri Republican convention delegate, helping get the Christian conservative, grassroots, true Republican values to the RNC, supporting our local, Sophia Shore, to chair the committee, the convention. I was asked to run for Camden County Commissioner to bring the same values to our local government. I am the only candidate to be endorsed by America First of Camden County. I bring 40-plus years of running businesses in both the private sector and the nonprofit sector. I bring the proven experience of how to stretch dollars, stretch your tax dollars, and manage people. Bringing people to work together so we can make Camden County the best county of the state. God is my guide. I work daily to live by His word, both in personal life and professional life. With God, all things are possible. We are to keep the government out of the churches, not the church out of the government. I am open. I'm an open book. Ask me any questions that you have. I want your voice to be heard, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Bill Walker, 2-minute opening.
Thank you. I appreciate being here tonight, and I appreciate everybody out here. Just when I look at this crowd, I think there's a lot of people that do still really care. That sometimes people think that politics, I can't make a difference. Well, I've thought about that my whole life. I can't make a difference, but I asked myself when this position came about, and I said, what do you do when you don't like something? You complain. Well, what do we do after we complain? We don't do anything. We just complain to our neighbor. Well, I'm not a politician and never have been, never been into politics, but I decided I wanted to step up and try to change things. Just take a common sense look at how we do things and see what we can improve on. Camden County is one of the best counties there is in the United States. I've been to all the states, and I love Camden County. This is my home. This is my family's home, and I want to keep it the way it is. This is, to me, Lake of the Ozarks is the ultimate statement of freedom, and everybody wants a piece of it, and I want to try to do my best to keep it like it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Steve Dugan, 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm Steve Dugan. I'm running for the 2nd District Commissioner for Camden County. I'm going to start this a little different. I never get through basically my pedigree of what I've done, but I want to start with a campaign promise, the first one of 2 that I'll be making, and I do keep my promises. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you in Climax Springs, Max Creek, Sunrise Beach, and also Edwards and Climax Springs, we're going to have a town hall meeting, if elected, every 6 months. This will be a way that your voice will be heard, and I will bring this to the commission office. I'm going to work hard to make sure we have some other officials there, Road and Bridge. And to add to this, I'm from here. I have Camden County values. Camden County, I love Camden County. I left for a few years. All I wanted to do is come back. I went to Dallas, Texas, got some good experience. I'm home. And I've been home since for the last, 30 years, and I plan on staying here. That was in my early years, in my 20s. But like I said, I'm born and raised here, and I have Camden County values at heart. I love this place.
Thank you.
Now onto the questions, and each candidate will get 1 minute to respond. We'll rotate down the table, starting right here at the beginning with James. What inspired you to run for Camden County Commission District 2? Is there a particular issue or some issues that motivated you to seek election at this time?
As I said in my opening statements, I've been involved in the county, and I've had a chance to see it as a citizen. I see my taxpayer dollars put to use. As with many of our other elected officials, I've seen some improvements in the last 6 years with Ike and James, and I believe I can lend to better improve how our tax dollars are spent so we can get the $1.50 out of every dollar. Because I think right now, we're getting 50, 60 cents out of every dollar. There's inefficiencies in government and at its core, and I think we can make our dollars go further if we work hard on efficiency.
Daniel, what inspired you to run for Camden County Commission District 2? Is there a particular issue or issues that motivated you to seek election at this time?
Yes, Road and Bridge was the catalyst that got me involved and then started with the county and the issues with the county. Then also along with getting people's voices heard throughout the county was the second issue. Stretching your dollars, stretching your tax dollars is number one on my list. Reviewing the budgets, all of the budgets, and making sure that we're using those dollars appropriately and as effectively as we can. Do that in both looking at the expense reports monthly and being very transparent and proactive in the bid process, promoting competitive bids, packaging them up professionally to attract additional bidders so that as those bids are coming in, we're getting more competitive bids and are able to stretch those tax dollars. So stretching your tax dollars and working through the budget and being transparent is what I look to bring my experience that I have from 40 plus years in business. My paycheck always came last after all the other bills are paid, so I know what it is to stretch dollars.
Bill Walker, what inspired you to run for Camden County Commission District 2? Is there a particular issue or issues that motivated you to seek election at this time?
Yes, there is. There's actually two issues that I hold to my heart the most. One being we need to get better roads, because living in Climax Springs, I feel that 2nd District kind of gets left out on a lot of things that we need sometimes. And I know the guys are working really hard with what they've got, and they're not getting a lot of support, I don't think, from our current administration. And the other is police presence in our rural areas. I kind of feel like we're forgotten. And when we need somebody out at Climax Springs, it can be 30, 45 minutes. They may have to come from Osage Beach or someplace like that. And I'm on the board with Northwest Fire Protection District. I'm also a first responder. And if we have a person that needs help, it's a situation that we can't really legally handle ourselves. We call and say, we need somebody here, and we need them now. And now doesn't mean 45 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour. We need somebody, we need them now. So we just need to help support our police enforcement. Thank you.
And finally, Steve Dugan, what inspired you to run for Camden County Commission District 2? Is there a particular issue or issues that motivated you to seek election at this time?
Well, it's a little more complex for me. I've worked with Campton County, I don't know, for 25 years with emergency preparedness, fire departments, stuff like that. I've worked with the commission office several times through my career. I've always kind of said that, one day I'm gonna run, I'm gonna make a difference. I want to make it better than it was yesterday. And I'll tell you, I think what really set me forth on this journey is when I seen the sheriff candidates as they were lining up. I know them all. I think I can bring that to the commission office. I think I can bring whoever gets in, I can bring a smooth transition from what they're saying to what we're saying. I hope I can make that as smooth that we all get along. And that's what I want. We've got to respect each other in Campton County, and I want to bring that to Campton County, that respect that we all should have for each other.
Question 2. I want to start with Daniel Dugan. Road and bridge in the county impacts the safety of the residents and can be a help or a barrier to economic progress in our county. How do we create a road system that is functional and well maintained?
I believe long-term planning is a key to getting everyone's road and everyone's issues addressed when it comes to road and bridge. I believe in 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, 50-year planning, we can get your road done as long as we have a plan that's addressing the entire county. with my experience of planning, we will avoid crisis managing and work on getting the bid process to where we get more competitive bids coming in. So again, the more planning that we do to use my experience, and I will bring ways to avoid the crisis managing, because when you're dealing with getting a plumber to come out and give you a bid, you don't want the pipe splurting out right now. You're not going to get as competitive bids in those processes. You want to be proactive to where you're doing the maintenance and getting things up to speed and doing those on a regular basis and managing the folks that are in that department and getting them all to work together.
Bill Walker, you know, road and bridge in the county impacts the safety of the residents and can be a help or a barrier to the economic progress in the county. How do we create a road system that is functional and well maintained?
Well, first of all, one thing that we're going to have to do, whoever gets in second district here, is going to have to be able to work with first district and presiding district to try to sit down and put a plan together. If we go into this with our own agendas of this is what we're going to do, that's what we're going to do, I'm afraid we're going to have a lot of fighting and not getting along. Road and bridge is probably one of the most expensive things next to police enforcement that we have in Camden County. And we spend a lot of money on it, and I think we could utilize with a lot more training. We have some of the best equipment there is. We have some of the best people around that work for us. And I think if we can all sit down and look at what we have, we can make it better.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve Dugan, same question. Road and bridge in the county impacts the safety of the residents and can be a help or a barrier to economic progress in the county. How do we create that road system that is functional and well maintained?
Well, I think we always need to support our road and bridge crew. Those guys are out there, I mean, whether that's cold, hot, we need to thank them. I'll tell you what, they do have a plan, and I'm going to tell you, right now we're getting hit with some weather that is really costing the county some money. And we need to realize that we're going to need a little more money to get in there. And we're going to go through this budget. And of course, this isn't my budget this year, but I hope I get to sit in on it. We need to look at some line items. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's find the low hanging fruits that we can add to that road and bridge group. I've been out with the road and bridge group. I've talked to them. I've been in the trucks with them. And I'll tell you what, I don't mind riding in the graders with them. I will get in those trucks and be there. We will look over those roads. And again, the town hall meetings, that's going to bring some stuff up, questions that you citizens may have. Let's get it out there. We can do it better together, guys. You know, I'm a medical examiner for Camden County. I drive these roads. I know the importance of getting the EMS staff to your home. These roads have got to be up to par, and we will work on it. I will make sure they work on it.
Thank you. James Rarica. Road and bridge in the county impacts the safety of residents and can be a help or a barrier to economic progress in the county. How do we create a road system that is functional, well maintained?
Roads affect every citizen in our county. We have a lot of services in our county, but not everybody uses all of those services. Roads affect every single one of us, whether it's the food we get delivered, whether it's going to schools, emergency services. So it's very important. We've talked about this for years, and we need more dollars to support that, but I'm not for additional tax dollars. We need to look at where our existing tax revenues are going, that we're all being taxed on. Take a look at your personal property tax statement. Take a look at your real estate tax statement. We should look at our priorities and reassign those priorities to apply more dollars to solve this problem. It's going to take more dollars. I'm going to use my master's in engineering management, my professional engineering degree, to help budget for this long term. I have the experience to do that for you guys.
Thank you.
All right. And question number 3, we're going to talk about budgets and belt tightening, something that just happens naturally to me. If it were determined necessary, and we're going to start with Bill. Yes. If it were determined necessary, where would you look to make budget cuts? Are there any areas you see as off limits and you would not consider cutting?
No, first of all, I don't want to cut anything from anybody if we could keep from it, which I know is impossible in today's budget. What we have to do is look into each and every program and see which programs benefit the best. The ones that don't benefit us very much, that would be something we could look at. Not digging into the budget personally yet and going through all that, I can't really answer exactly which programs we would look at. But as said, Road and Bridge does need a lot more money, and we do need to figure out where our money goes and are we spending what we spend wisely? Because I believe it was a month or two ago, there was a study that was $7.1 million or something that the roads needed. And it is going to be very different because nobody wants to lose anything they've got, is the first thing. But like I say, we're just going to have to sit down as a group and go over and see what we can find to cut.
Steve Dugan, if it were determined necessary, where would you look to make budget cuts? Are there any areas you see as off limits and you would not consider cutting?
Yeah, thanks. I'll tell you what, I'm going to start with the first thing that's off limits, and that's personnel. I'm not going to cut personnel to hurt what Camden County offers. That's the first thing. As far as cuts, I think what I want to do is present this to all the elected officials. I'd also like the department heads. I'd like for them to actually look at their budgets first, present those budgets to us, that we can go over that budget. At that point, I think we can do it as a collective, as a courthouse, and avoid taxes. I don't like that word. I don't even like to say it, guys. Let's get together with everybody in here. Again, I'm going to continue to say it. Let's do it better together. We can work together in the courthouse and make this budget work, guys.
This is for James Rarica. If it were determined necessary, where would you look to make budget cuts? Are there any areas you see as off limits and you would not consider cutting?
You always have to look at the budget in its entirety. Much like in business, you have up and down cycles. We've been blessed with several years of increased sales tax revenue, increased real estate property valuations, which has provided flush funds to several of our districts, yet we still have political subdivisions seeking additional tax levies. I don't think we need to tax our citizens more. We need to look at cuts through attrition. I've been proud to say I've never laid anybody off to reduce my workforce. I've always done it through attrition. But there are plenty of services within the government that are duplicated at offices that can be brought together to bid them out and get better services as a whole for the entire government. I was blessed to be invited to some meetings at the county and even see where we spend on telecommunication or IT, and there are ways to bring those costs down so that we're not overpaying for those for every office.
Daniel Dugan, if it were determined necessary, where would you look to make budget cuts? Are there any areas that you see as off limits and would not consider cutting?
Well, no personnel staff reduction at all. We need to keep all the staff that we have. If anything, come in alongside them and train them so that they're more efficient at what they're doing. Stretching your dollars is going to be the key thing of my campaign promises. I want to review all the department's budgets. We control the purse strings, and I pledge transparency and monthly bid process, reporting of the expenses, and promoting additional bidders. So back to going over together of those independent departments is important, and getting our dollars to have a $1.25 value or a $1.50 value. We need to really stretch those dollars and make every dollar we have, tax dollar coming in, count.
I'm going to start with Steve Dugan. Everything we've talked about has been improvement. That normally equals money. So the question is, do you have any plans to promote any changes to existing taxes? If so, why?
I don't have any plan to change any taxes at this point. Gosh, the tax thing, that's a tough one. As far as that, we don't want to see taxes, guys. We need to find where that money can be best spent at. That's what we need to do. That's about all I got on that. I mean, we've got to work together to make this work. And I'll tell you, if we have to go to a tax to get some money, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to push the courthouse that we're all in that together, and why, and it's going to be transparent of why we've got to do it. But I'll tell you, I am not for the taxes anymore, period.
Thank you, sir. James Rarica, same question. Do you have any plans to promote any changes to existing taxes? If so, why?
We should be able to operate within our existing levies. As I said earlier, we should look at all the levies that are assessed to us across all of the political subdivisions and decide whether they're appropriately assigned to the priorities of our community. We've talked a lot about roads here, and we need more budget there, so we may need to look at that. But no, I'm not for any new taxes. The second part of that equation is growth. And so I have the ability to help drive economic growth. We want American manufacturing. We want, I have a small manufacturing firm in Eldon. We can bring that to our area. So growth brings up additional tax base, additional tax revenue. And so that's the piece of the equation that we want to continue to focus on so that we don't see a drop in revenue.
Thank you, sir. Daniel Dugan, any plans to promote any changes to existing taxes? If so, why?
No changes in increasing taxes whatsoever. If we were to ever look at increasing taxes, it would need to be put to the voters and let them decide. We need to hear their voices on that. But I just really feel that planning and management is the key to making the county more efficient and more effective. And we just need to continue bringing people together, getting people to take ownership in each department and get excited about working in that department and make it run better.
Thank you, sir. Bill Walker, any plans to promote any changes to existing taxes? If so, why?
At this time, I don't have any plans to raise any taxes. I want to look at the taxes that are coming in from our county, what we get for road and bridge, what we get for police, general fund. One thing that I would like to see is, I've lived here all my life, and it seems like a lot of our manufacturing jobs have slowly started to go away. And we're losing just good basic jobs that people want to do every day. And I would like to come up with some kind of a tax incentive to get people, factories, whoever, to come in and want to work here at the lake. I think that's one of the biggest things that could help us, because like Daniel was saying, if we get more business in, people have more money to spend. The more money they spend, it stays in our area. The more taxes it can help generate. So we just need to build our community and do the best that we can.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Final question for the candidates for Camden County Commission District 2. And this one will start with James Rarica. James, many people in Camden County are not originally from the area. What brought you here or kept you in the lake area?
Yeah, I grew up down here visiting with my parents. It certainly has changed over the years. We came here for a job. My wife was offered a job in the veterinary clinic. We grew up in Jeff City, Missouri. I'm from a small farming community on the north side of Jeff City River of about 238 people. But I've got conservative values, and I resonate with a lot of people in our community here. Many of you probably noticed that there's not a Democratic ticket here. So it fits with what my values are. I love developing business. I love everything we have going on in this community. And I'm raising my 4 kids here, and we plan to be here for a long time.
Daniel Dugan, many people in Camden County are not originally from the area. What brought you here or kept you here in the lake area?
I've been vacationing here for over 47 years. I've owned property since the 90s. All 3 of my children got into college and or the military service, and the lake is where I always came to relax and release, and I had the opportunity to move anywhere I wanted, so here I am. Live here full-time, live down Shawnee Bend 3 off MM. One of the key things that I like about the area is the hometown attitude, the great values that people have here. I'm a conservative Christian, and that is what most of the county is made up of, and I'm proud of. And I like to support the small businesses and come alongside them, reduce the red tape, and be proactive in promoting our local businesses, because that's what the county's made up of.
Bill Walker, many people in Camden County are not originally from the area. What brought you here or kept you in the lake area?
Well, my family's actually from Climax Springs. They've been there many, many years ago. They were there. And I've lived in Camden and Climax Springs my entire life. I don't know anything other than Camden County. And I love Camden County. I love the lifestyle. I love the people. It's just, I've traveled all over the United States, and I always come back to Camden County because it's just good, wholesome people that treat you like family. Family argues sometimes, but family always pulls together. And that's what I like about this county, is there are just a lot of really great people here. And I'm proud to be one of them.
Steve Dugan, many people in Camden County are not originally from the area. What brought you here or kept you in the lake area?
That's kind of like one of those questions, kind of like, wow. I as I said, I love Camden County. I grew up here. I've worked at many jobs here growing up. I went to Texas for about a few years. You know, I got some good experience, but man, I miss this area. And I'm going to tell you, as a kid, I seen Kim Ebling walk in. I worked at the Clown. I mean, she put up with us kids, and she helped us gain our experience out there. And I appreciate her and Dick for doing that, putting up with us. And I know we were not always the best. I'm not going to lie. You know, we had Rome's Dairy Cream. I worked at that place when I was 13. The Gun Club. You know, I can go on and on. This place has offered me so much in my background. I mean, this is my values, my home. It has instilled it in me. Guys, I'm for Camden County, and I love this county. I'll tell you, I left. I couldn't wait to come back, and I can't wait to serve this county if I'm elected.
Now we're going to do a 2-minute close. Steve Dugan, we're going to start with you. Keep going.
Oh boy, we're just going to keep going on this. So I'll tell you what, I've been out walking around, and I'm sorry I'm not going to get everybody out there, and I've realized that. I like to go out just me and talk to the people. I'm going to tell you, this is something that I'm really frustrated with, and I'll tell you, I'm passionate about this, and this has been passionate for years. That I've worked with emergency preparedness for the last 25 years with search and rescue, and this is going to be a campaign promise. This is my second one, and I do keep my promises, guys. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be that full-time commissioner that has that 110%, because I'm going to do those town hall meetings like I told you, but I'm also going to be that commissioner that can be gotten a hold of. I'm going to be there on the phone. I will come out and see you, whatever it takes, because I've tried to call the commission office before and didn't get in or didn't get an answer back, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be there for you, and we're going to get stuff done. Starting day one, if I'm elected, when I start, guys. I'm here for you guys, and we're going to make a difference, and we're going to make that difference together. And I appreciate your vote on August 6th. And remember, it's going to get a little confusing. There's 2 Dugans here. There is a difference. One's from here, one is not. And remember, Dugan with an O, guys.
Bill Walker, 2-minute close.
Well, thank you all for being out here today. You know, I worked a couple different jobs, a couple different factories in my life, which gave me a lot of the experience that I needed to be in building maintenance, helping me build some of the houses I built, industrial equipment, machinery. And I'd worked in factories about 17 years, and I had a feeling one day that I wasn't happy, and I wanted to do something different. And I know religion and politics are not things that are supposed to be together, but one day I just had a intuition that I needed to help people. So I opened my own garage, which used to be my father's place in Climax Springs. And one of the things that I prized myself on was being able to help people. When they didn't have money or couldn't get to work, I was able to help them get to work and do what they needed to do. I didn't make a lot of money, but I found true happiness. And that's what I'm trying to do here, since I can't work in the automotive industry anymore because of my body's just kind of given up. I enjoy helping people, and to me, this job's not all about money. It's about helping the community and the people in it.
Thank you. Daniel Dugan, 2-minute close.
You will always get the truth from me. There's 2 rules that I have lived by my entire life: never lie and always try. The rest of the things we have to work through. I believe in bringing common sense approach to any issue that is presented to the county. I also feel that we have to take a tough stance on illegal immigrants. I believe in legal paths to citizenship. My ancestors came here through, working on the Erie Canal, learning the ways of a U.S. citizen, and we're excellent people to help contribute to the society. I am a full-time resident here at the lake. Own a home. Plan to be here the rest of my life. Excited about living at the lake. It's a great place to live. I've stepped forward in many perspectives. First things first, serving as your state representative, went to the Capitol for conservative issues, and that's why I'm in this race, is because I want to bring those same values to the office and deliver for you those values in action. So in summary, common sense approach, working to promote small businesses, and dealing with illegal issues, illegal immigrant issues, and being out there listening to your voice out throughout the county as I'm traveling now. I'm county line to county line, and it's very exciting to talk with the folks. That's the funnest part of the campaign trail, is getting to know folks, hear what their issues are, and getting them on the bulletin board to where we'll be able to address them one at a time. They might not all happen at the onset, but we will get around to every single person's concern, because we need to make Camden County the best county in the state. Daniel Dugan, Double D, running for Camden County Commissioner, your best choice when you get to the voting booth.
James Rarica, 2-minute close.
Yes. First, I want to thank everybody up here. We're all donating our time here. We're all out knocking on doors, giving you guys several options to choose from, and I think that's awesome compared to prior elections where we've had one candidate. So I think that's great, and commend all of us. I think I'm the best candidate because I've been spending time in the county for the last decade. Different levels, many months I spend 2 days a month donating my time, working on different issues to try to benefit the citizens of this county. I have experience in the county. I have experience running large teams and organizing large teams. I've mentioned before that I've grown some businesses to 120 plus employees. I have a CEO. I have managers in place. I'm prepared to step away and dedicate my time fully to the commissioner position. I'd like to do the same thing in the commission office. It needs a team. You have departments. We've talked about budgets today. You talk to those departments, each of those departments write their own budget. So you work with them to develop, any contractions in budgets or any increases. So I think I'm the candidate to give you the best bang for your dollar of all your tax dollars. I'm committed to not raising your tax dollars. I'm going to root out any of the theft that's gone on, any of the mismanagement that's gone on, and I'm going to give you better roads. I thank you for your vote on August 6th.
Thank you. You're watching and listening to the Candidate Forum on KRMS television and radio. We're going to be right back with the candidates for Camden County Sheriff.